It is not every day that a guy like Jalen Ramsey becomes available for a trade after week 2 of the regular season. And if you're a team that is contender for a Super Bowl and you need cornerback help, I don't see how you can't go after this guy.
Kick the red, double move on the red.
Everybody doing? King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you're doing well. Me, I'm hanging in there. My fever broke last night. I feel a little bit better. Still really tired and weak and all those kind of things. But you know what? I'm getting there. I'm having trouble getting over this Nelson Aguilar play and this Nelson Aguilar drop. This is really bothering me, and I'm going to talk about this later on tonight in a video I'm going to be doing about the Eagles and about the Cowboys. I'm going to explain why the Cowboys have set themselves up for failure again. This will be a response to Mark Holmes. But before I send out that video, I wanted to do this video about Jalen Ramsey because things are happening quick. It's sounding more and more like this trade with Jalen Ramsey going somewhere else may happen sooner rather than later. I mean, Jacksonville does play Thursday. Maybe they want him gone by then. So I wanted to come out here and give you my opinion on the Jalen Ramsey situation and, you know, what I think the Eagles are going to do and what I would do if I was Eagles, because I think there may be two different things going on here. There's a lot of rumors right now talking about the Eagles being interested in Jalen Ramsey. But are we really surprised? The Eagles are pretty much interested in everybody. Their name comes up in reports all the time. This is why I laugh about it with Bad Dog, because he's always talking about, oh, the Eagle fans think they're getting this and getting that and getting this and getting that. But if you read the reports, if you read what's out there in the news, the Eagles are always mentioned. The Eagles are always involved. And why wouldn't people wonder what's going on when they hear their team, you know, hey, your team is interested in this guy. Your team is interested in this guy. That's what happens. That's what happens, okay? When you're good, you're interested in everybody. When you stink like the Giants and you have to start Daniel Jones week 3, you don't want nobody. You don't get nobody. But anyways, Jalen Ramsey's situation. You know, like I said before, he is a I think he's the best corner in football. Okay, you see what he did with Hopkins last week. I mean, pretty much shut him down. And I can tell you this, if we had Jalen Ramsey on our defense, he would not have given up that touchdown, that bomb, you know, where they went after Ronald Darby 3 times, the same play, and then they got him on the third one. That wouldn't happen with Jalen Ramsey. I think Jalen Ramsey, with the Philadelphia Eagles, would have huge impact, not just because of his play at the cornerback position, but because I think he gives a swagger, he gives an attitude to the defense that maybe this defense could use. It could infuse them, you know, a nice shot in the arm to get Jalen Ramsey. From a talent standpoint, no team is going to get any worse by adding Jalen Ramsey, okay? Whoever adds him is going to get better in the secondary. And Jalen Ramsey would be a hell of an addition to the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? The way I see it, I would give up a first-round pick without hesitation, without any confusion. It would be done. It would be done. Okay, I would give up a first. I'd give up a first and a third, first and a fourth maybe in 2021. I'd give up a first and a player. I don't think anybody the Eagles are going to draft in the first round this year is going to end up being the type of player that Jalen Ramsey is. Okay, to me, he would be the equivalent of adding like Khalil Mack on the defensive line into the secondary. He is that kind of impact, in my opinion. And Jalen Ramsey's out there, and there are reports that, you know, there are a couple reports. One report has 8 teams listed as who would go after Jalen Ramsey, and the Eagles are one of them, of course. And then there's a report on ESPN saying that the Eagles are doing their due diligence right now, and they are really looking into very hard getting Jalen Ramsey. They also said that they went after Minkah Fitzpatrick. Obviously, he got traded to the Steelers for a first-round pick, and I think the Steelers got that done because you got to look at the Steelers with Ben out. You got to look at that team as probably having a top 10 to 15 first-round pick, so they're going to have a higher first-round pick to give Miami than the Eagles. But Jalen Ramsey, the Eagles have to be looking at him. The Eagles need cornerback help. And specifically, in my opinion, Ronald Darby is a problem. Ronald Darby is a problem. Maybe it's because he's coming back from the ACL. I don't know. But he's a problem, and I would like to replace him. Okay? I wouldn't mind sending a first, Ronald Darby, send it to Jacksonville. Now, maybe they want Sidney Jones or something like that. But I would personally, I would do it. I would do it in a second. Now, there are a lot of problems that go along with trading for Jalen Ramsey. And I think that even though I would go out and get Jalen Ramsey, I'm not sure the Eagles will. Like I said, there are reports that the Eagles are looking into it. There's another report that just came out as I was getting ready to make this video saying that there are 2 offers on the table for Jalen Ramsey right now. One is an AFC team. I think they offered a first-round pick and a player. And then one is an NFC team that offered a first-round pick and another pick, okay? Don't know who the teams are. The report did not say which team it was. But I have to assume there will be a lot of suitors for Jalen Ramsey. How can there not be? I think the Eagles, being a team that is trying to win a Super Bowl, that thinks they're close, and I think that they are, I think you got to take a shot and you go for him. In my personal opinion, do it. You do it. I would do it. Jalen Ramsey would come in. I think he's about $7.5 million this year. He's also signed next year, so he'd be about $13 million, $13.5 million next year, okay? Now, the Eagles will have to figure out how to make that work, but it shouldn't be too hard. They should be able to do that. I think they're about $9 or $10 million under the cap. How he could manipulate this situation to get him that one more year. The problem with Jalen Ramsey is this. And this is why I'm not sure, and I would say I don't think the Eagles are going to end up doing this in the end. You have to give up a lot of compensation, a first, maybe a fifth, maybe first and a player. Then you're going to have to pay this guy a lot of money. He wants a lot of money. You remember start of training? He backed up the Brink truck. He ain't playing. He wants to get paid a lot of money. So you're going to have to figure out how to pay him. And, maybe the Eagles say, you know what, the hell with paying him long term. Let's just bring him in for 2 years, and then he can go somewhere else. That's possible. The Eagles could do that. I could see them doing it. They've done it with, like, Jay Ajayi before. But, Jalen Ramsey, to me, like I said, he's one of the best players in the National Football League, one of the best defenders in the National Football League. He is 24 years old. I would want to have a long-term contract with him, okay? So I guess what I'm trying to say is this. I think the Eagles probably will not do this trade. I would guess no. If you put a gun in my head and said, Eagles going to trade for Jalen Ramsey, I'm going to say no, I don't think they will. But if you said Philly 500, would you personally do it? Do you think the Eagles should do it? And yes, hell yes, right away. But I don't know that that's going to happen. I'm not expecting the Eagles to go out and get him. I just think it's a lot to give. I really thought that the 2 guys that really had a good chance of ending up in Philly was Jadeveon Clowney. I really thought that one could go through. And then when you see what Seattle gave up, you really have to wonder. And then the other one was Minkah Fitzpatrick. I thought that the Eagles had a real shot at him too because he's young. He's under a rookie deal for another couple years. He can't even renegotiate his contract, and it just made a lot of sense. The problem with that is that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to stink this year. They're going to give a lot better first-round pick than the Eagles. So, in the end, I think that this thing's going to happen quick. I would not be surprised that this thing happens in the next 4 or 5 days. 3 to 4 to 5 days. I think it's going to happen that quick. I don't know where he's going. I have no idea. When it comes to the Eagles, I think the Eagles will do their due diligence. I think that they should go pull the trigger on this. I think he's worth the first-round pick. I really do. And look, you'll have him for 2 years. You'll get him for 2 years. The Eagles could afford to take that, okay? Now, does he want a new contract before his final year? I don't know. But the Eagles, I would like to see Jalen Ramsey as an Eagle. Like I said before, he's the best cornerback in football. He would make a huge impact on our team. No doubt about it. Man, I'll tell you, man, that Eagles loss is still bothering me. It's still bothering me, and I'm going to have to talk about it later today. Like I said, I got to do a video about the Eagles and about the Cowboys because I have a lot to say about the Dallas Cowboys too. I'll hopefully get that out tonight. I got to go run out and do a bunch of stuff, work, all those kind of things. And I'm fighting this flu still, not feeling totally 100%. So hopefully I don't just, fall down and fall asleep and forget to do the video. I'm going to definitely try to have it out later today. But I definitely wanted to get this thing out beforehand because I think that something's going to happen really quick with Jalen Ramsey. As far as where I stand and to sum up this whole video, I want Jalen Ramsey. I would love to get him. But if I had to put money on it, I'll say the Eagles are not going to make this move. I don't think they're going to spend that much to trade for him. I don't think they're going to trade for him and then pay him that much. It's too much compensation, too much money. I'm not expecting the Eagles to do it, but I think they should. That's kind of where I stand. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully Howie pulls the trigger. That would be great. I would be really excited if that happened. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. What do you think? Do you think the Eagles should trade for Jalen Ramsey? And do you think they will? Those are two different questions. They're not the same question. Let me know in the comment section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.